And there's so many times I'm doing something and I think, what were you thinking? I'm thinking I'm still young and can do what I want.
Joyce Arnold is doing exactly what she
Come on up,
wants,
Kitty.
despite being told by
Come
some that
on,
she was
Pixie.
nuts. At 74 years old, she earned her degree at the University of Calgary.
What was it like walking across the stage?
It was awesome. I couldn't believe it. I loved John Cornish, number one. I loved watching him play football.
Walking into classrooms surrounded by students young enough to be her grandchildren didn't intimidate her. She loved learning and loved her classes, but not every experience was positive.
And like one project I did, I wrote my section, and the girl said, "Oh my God, this is so good. I didn't expect that." It's like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they don't think you're capable. They don't think you understand.
As her
Alien
arthritis worsened,
skeleton
she went
and
from walking across campus to
um,
using a wheelchair, but no
spiny, yes.
setback could compare to her son's death during her studies.
Like Tyler believed me. He believed I would get my degree. And yeah, it felt like he was with me and for me.
We can all learn a lot from Joyce about the value of curiosity, determination, and of following your dreams.
I know staying home and seeing friends and playing games is fun, but I want more.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You waited more than 50 years to earn your degree. Why was it so important to finish that?
I always wanted to go to university. I love learning. I always wanted a degree, but the opportunities weren't there when I first got out of high school.
Why not? What was missing?
Well, at that time, you couldn't get student loans if your parents lived here and you could live with them, number one. So financially, it was not feasible.
Did having a family and everything that get in the way too? I guess I shouldn't say get in the way, but you know what I mean, right?
Well, raising a family and working full time, I tried to take some courses to see what I was interested in. I never found that fit back then. Um,
It's hard to fit things in. I know as a parent, when you're hands-on and you're working and whatnot, it's hard to fit in the thought of school as well, right?
yeah, and I couldn't take enough courses working and
Mhm.
raising a family to be effective.
Was there ever a point where you thought, well, maybe this dream of having a degree has just passed me by?
I thought it had passed me by, and I was busy with family and work and just life. And I really never thought about it beyond that.
No, I hear you because I've wanted to go back to school too and it's always been in the back of my mind, but it's always about the kids. It's about I want to focus on them. It's all about making everything from getting them to soccer to financial. I got to make sure their education's paid for. Everything is all about the kids.
Yeah,
And somehow I think that, women are more so. That way it's harder for them to pursue either their own career or their own education goals in some ways when they're
that's
mothers.
that's true because you're giving part of yourself to your husband, to your kids, to your work, and to yourself because you need time for yourself.
Mhm.
And yeah, education would be the furthest thing from my mind at that point.
Because I think we've all been there where you think, well, once you reach a certain age, you go, there's more years behind
Right.
the cart, right? Than rather before it. And you go, what's the point? Or do I have time? Or whatever. There's so many reasons we have for not pursuing um what we have dreams of. Um,
True.
What was it like when you first decided? I guess was there a final decision where you said, I'm gonna do it. This to heck with it. I'm gonna take this big challenge on.
When I retired and I learned that university gave you one degree to do it tuition free, I thought I'm going to do this.
Explain that one. What did you, how did you get the tuition?
Well, after I retired, I learned that university allowed you one degree as a senior, tuition free. So I thought this is great, I'll do it. All you had to do was pay for books.
So you decided I can get free tuition. I can go to the U of C. I'm gonna do this. What was it like walking into a university classroom surrounded by students that, could be your grandkids?
I never really thought about it. I was there to learn. And the lectures were fascinating. Like an hour and a half lecture would fly. Seemed like 10 minutes from when you got there. I was just so absorbed in the process, in learning, that it didn't really fizz on me that, okay, they're all younger than me.
What kind of interactions did you have, or did you with some of the students? I guess you would have had to for group projects.
Ageism is alive and well, I'll say that.
Tell me about
Age,
that.
well, when profs wanted you to turn and meet the people in front of you or beside you or behind you, you were ignored totally. Um, Group projects, there was an assumption that you couldn't handle the project or work. Like once we had a group project going and we all had to sign portions to put on the net, and somebody went and did mine. Oh, well, I had lots of time. But there were students that made the experience really positive too. There were the ones that met you and got to know you, that you interacted with and you could learn from
Well, I'm
and
glad
help.
to hear that balanced it out, from the ones that, didn't want to interact to the ones that took a chance
Yeah.
to learn from you. Did you find there was interest in you? Like, were you like a curiosity? Were there some students that were like, I want to know why that woman's here or what's her story?
Um, there wasn't really any intrigue from them about why I was doing what I was doing.
Mhm.
It was like maybe a normal thing to them. They had to put up with us old people.
Were there many other seniors in your class or in your yeah, that you met along the way?
Just in one class.
Uh,
Two classes. So there weren't a lot of us.
were you okay with the technology? I hate to, uh, as- assume that, that you're not as up to it on the technology end as an 18-year-old, but I mean, let's face it, it's hard to be, right? Was there any adapting to technology for you since the last time you were in school?
Well, I learned a lot of programs through work,
Mm.
but the ones we used at university were like PowerPoint. Never did it. Some students helped me with it, some just took over. I tried to learn through the internet. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but you ask a question, they'll tell you the steps, and then the steps don't work. So, but I muddled through.
So technology was not a problem.
It was and it wasn't. Like for the normal note taking, doing papers, graphs, etc., it was okay, but stuff like PowerPoint that you'd never touched or learned was really difficult and a real struggle. and it
Yeah.
wasn't perfect. And I just told the prof, I'm sorry, this is the best I can do. Here it is.
Well, what do they say that the perfection is the enemy of getting things
True,
done, right? So,
right?
yeah. Um, was there a moment when you were going through the class where you thought, what am I doing? Or
Just
was
when I
there
was
ever?
just when I was really sick and couldn't concentrate and couldn't deal with anything, that I thought, why am I doing this? I should just give it up. It's not worth the hassle. So I took one term off, but I really missed the classes. I really missed the learning. And I just thought, I've worked too hard and come too far not to finish this.
You said you were sick. What happened?
Oh, one of the drugs they gave me for my arthritis and low platelets. Arthritis attacks platelets. So one of the drugs they gave me just really threw me for a loop. Really bad reaction. So, and you had to step down off it over 3 months. So that whole 3 months was a nightmare.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, I was in classes in a term, but I finally just had to withdraw from them.
So that put you behind by like a half a year then.
Yeah,
Hmm. But as you say, you muddled through and came back.
right. I had a lot of encouragement from profs. They were awesome.
Yeah. How did you manage that? That was rheumatoid arthritis you have, right?
Yeah.
That makes like I know that everyday things can be difficult. Um I've just developed arthritis in my hands, and just shifting the gears on my bike now is difficulty. How did you manage the demands of going to university with dealing with that?
Well, at one point I bought a electric wheelchair
Mm.
because I just couldn't walk the whole campus anymore. So that really helped. And I had gloves that when your hands cramped and you couldn't write, you could put on. That's helped you write, be able to write and carry through. I wasn't the fastest, but I did it.
You're not being timed, right? So it's
Right.
all good. I guess you take a different perspective into it too, right? Do you think that your perspective going in at the age of 65 is different than that of an 18-year-old? The wisdom that you bring in and the being able to put things into balance, into perspective more?
Yeah, it does. Like I met so many students that just were happy getting a C plus, just scraping by. It was a degree to them, just get it and get out.
Mhm.
There wasn't the desire to excel or to do your best, which I found weird. So that attitude really surprised me. I guess because I wanted university so much and they just treat it so casually.
Because this had been something that you wanted for so long,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to have that degree now?
Oh, I loved everything I learned.
Mhm.
Um, I'm really glad I did it and achieved it. Even though it was a struggle and a battle, it was worth every minute.
You also experienced some very difficult times during that. Aside from the arthritis, you experienced some very difficult personal
Yeah,
times.
my son passed away, and that was a really hard time to go
Uh,
through that and just grieving and trying to focus wasn't there.
I can't even imagine still getting through that. Um, how did it impact? And I'm so sorry for your loss. How did that impact your studies?
Well, I'd take some courses and then I'd find out that I couldn't put myself into them the way I wanted to. And I just ended up dropping them out of frustration. But I kept trying. It took a couple of years to get back to where I was, to where I could concentrate and achieve what I wanted to achieve in the courses.
Was there any part of going to school that helped in the grieving process to have
Well,
a
it got,
place to put your grief or to focus on something else?
yeah, they did. It was somewhere to interact with people and be around people instead of being alone, and somewhere to focus my interest.
I was just trying to put myself in your shoes there. Losing a child is unimaginable, and to still go through that. But I guess it would help for me personally when I think about it. It would help me have something to get up
Yeah,
for, to have a goal.
yeah,
Or and this might sound, spiritual or whatever, but I would think that my daughter was watching somehow
that's true. Yeah,
and saying, "You got this," right? Or keep going, mom. Did you
yeah,
ever think that?
yeah. Like Tyler believed in me. He believed I would get my degree. And yeah, it felt like he was with me and for me.
What did Tyler think when you went back to school?
He didn't really say. Yeah, I was surprised. No, he didn't say anything.
Oh.
My daughter said I was nuts. Why would you want to do something like that? And even some of the courses. Why are you taking that? What's that got to do with anything? She didn't understand that a lot of the courses, even though they weren't related to anthropology, were giving interest in other things in the world and enhancing your experience.
Tell me about some of those, because some people do have that impression of a liberal arts degree. What courses stand out to you that help you either better understand the world or just were deeply satisfying to you?
All the anthropology courses. And of course, I can't see it.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, did it help you in understanding people's cultures and whatnot? Does it help you understand the world better and in terms of, the kind of polarization and the conflict
Yes,
that we're seeing in the world now? Did it help you with that?
it helped a lot to understand different cultures and why they held the beliefs they held. And the biological anthropology gave me the map of human evolution. The genetics were fascinating, like why people were lactose intolerant, um, homeostasis, how the human body adapts to your environment, and overall what it's like to be human.
Those are items I think we could all stand to learn from? Like, couldn't we to help us better understand the other people we inhabit the planet with?
To understand other people and also understand yourself and where you came from and where you're going. And like I said, what it's like to be human.
What did you learn about yourself?
I've had all kinds of gay friends and trans friends and people outside the box, an acceptance that goes beyond what a lot of people have. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It does.
I don't understand prejudice. I don't understand treating people less than people because they're different.
Was there anything in the course that taught you about that, like where that comes from and why we as humans
Well,
do that?
history teaches you why people are prejudiced, and but I pretty much dismissed it. I thought it was pretty stupid. We're all people, we're all the same. It doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what sex, it doesn't matter about your sexual orientation. Who are you as a person? And what do I enjoy about you? And what do you enjoy about me? It's not, it's looking beyond the barriers, I guess, people put up.
The facade or the exteriors.
Yeah, yeah.
Did earning your degree change how you see yourself?
Not really.
It didn't give you more confidence to achieve that you achieved something like that?
Well, it gives you more confidence, but I always believed I could do things that people told me I couldn't. So there's that satisfaction in, oh, I told you so. Um, I know some people, when they're told they can't achieve or do something, they back off or think less of themselves. I've never felt that way.
You go the other way.
Yeah. And I don't understand why people would go opposite of what I do. Then they lose out so much and a part of themselves.
What was it like walking across the stage?
It was awesome. I couldn't believe it. I loved John Cornish, number one. I loved watching him play football. It was such a thrill to meet him. And then the crowd went nuts. It was just unreal. And I'm glad I did it. For a while, I thought, oh, I should just pick up my degree. But then I thought, no, do the whole thing, get the whole experience. And I'm glad I did. When the platform party left the after convocation, so many, who was it, the vice chancellor, I think, and some of the profs congratulated me and people I didn't even know. It was just unreal experience. He sent me a note on LinkedIn. It
Tell
was
me
really
about it.
sweet. Just congratulating me and saying he was intrigued and wanted to understand my story or know my story, and that people like me made being chancellor so much better, the experience for him so much better. It was really sweet
Uh,
and
pe-
surprising.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's lovely. Said people like you. What do you think people like you is?
that it aren't the normal young person tripping across the stage and there's something there that they want to know what your story is, why you're there, and yeah.
If you could be beside your 24-year-old self, what would you tell her now? Looking back at all this, I guess the 24-year-old who didn't get that chance to go, who was pining perhaps to get that degree, like maybe some of your friends did. What would you tell her?
I guess I would tell her that your 20s are a time for exploring the world, understanding who you are, what your interests are, and for building lifelong friendships. They're for a good time, and they're the 20s are a good time in your life to enjoy life and to move on to the next journey. You don't have to decide on your career at that moment, and changing your mind is fine. There's so much pressure for young people to write their script, their final life script at that time, instead of embracing life and finding out what interests you and what route to take, and um, enjoy the freedom of those years instead of stressing yourself out about your life script.
What do you think people get wrong about
Yeah,
us older adults?
I think that they believe we don't have the capabilities they have, the capacity to learn.
Capacity to learn. I think people think at a certain age you can't pick up things anymore.
Exactly. And like one project I did, I wrote my section, and the girl said, "Oh my God, this is so good. I didn't expect that." It's like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they don't think you're capable. They don't think you understand. They don't realize that the life experience has given you so much more than they have, which they will learn going forward. So
Is there anything you would have done differently? I guess if you even if you had the opportunity to get a degree in your 20s, or has life just unfolded the way it was supposed to?
I think life unfolded the way it's supposed to. If I got a degree back then, I would have probably took teaching because I loved working with kids and teaching them things. But I don't, it didn't, there was so much out there, but back then it was you became a teacher, a nurse, or secretary. That was the choices society gave you. But discovering anthropology, archaeology, astronomy, there was so much more that I hadn't been exposed to or thought about.
How did you come to pick anthropology?
Oh, I really didn't know what to take, and I met an advisor, and I said, I don't even know what to take. So my first year, she laid out a bunch of courses she thought I'd like. A lot were anthropology, archaeology. So I took them, and especially anthropology got my attention. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I knew about archaeology, so it was quite exciting to discover anthropology and all that it involved.
So you found the degree that was just right for you.
Exactly, yeah. I'm grateful to her for steering me in the direction she did.
How many years did it take?
To get my degree?
Yeah,
10, isn't that awful?
that's not all. You can say, isn't that awful, or isn't that like a heck of a lot of determination?
A lot of determination, but wished it was a shorter journey. But then in a way I don't, because I missed the classes. And now I'd love to take genetics courses, but I haven't looked into it yet. Love to volunteer in some capacity. I just haven't had time to explore everything yet and decide what to do. But I know staying home and seeing friends and playing games is fun, but I want more.
I love that about you. I want more.
Yeah,
Have you always been a curious person?
always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you always that kid that was always asking why? Yeah, but why?
Oh, yeah.
Curious
And
kid.
people look at me like, are you nuts? Why are you asking?
Any other advice you would give to people, say like me, who are on the fence about, yeah, should I go back? I'm still trying to do it before I'm 65, but now I'm looking, oh, is it worth it, the investment versus what I'm going to get out of it? What would you say to older adults that are thinking about going back to get that dream of a degree?
Even if you have to pay for it, it's worth it in my mind. Um, but personal growth is curiosity is tied to how we learn to connect and adapt. And curiosity is what drives us. Even if you don't recognize it as curiosity.
And one last thing for you, Joyce, sometimes we hear that society often tells us that aging means slowing down. What has your whole experience taught you? All 10 years of it, or all
Oh,
75 years of it?
well, for me, yeah, there is physical slowing down. The first 5 years, I could walk the north end to the south of the end of the campus, no problem. I could write for hours, and um, it just became really frustrating with the arthritis when I couldn't walk a long ways without hurting and couldn't write without hurting, and just no patience. I wanted it to go away. So you slow down just in that sense, but your mind's still active, your mind's still with it. It's not slowing down.
Curiosity never stops. I
No,
think that's what keeps you young.
I think so.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think so. And there's so many times I'm doing something and I think, what were you thinking? I'm thinking I'm still young and can do what I want.